Yo, today is October 21st, 2022. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We're your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover the breaking news, culture, memetic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Today's a day of celebration. Unfortunately, we were going to do this episode right on the day that it happened, but my internet's just completely rug pulled me 10 minutes before we did the live show. But don't worry, we're back today. We're going to give you the Simply Bitcoin angle on what happened yesterday. What happened? Hodlonaut, the space cat, has won his case. Now, in 3 separate countries, in 3 separate jurisdictions, 3 different judges have now called Wright a liar. Will this be the end? I'm not sure, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So we're going to cover it. We're going to go through the whole saga, right? We're going to start where it started, where it went, the different cases in Florida, the different cases in the UK. We're going to cover it all. But this is a good day. This is a good day for freedom. This is a good day for freedom of speech. And this is especially a good day for the Hodlonaut that took this fight upon his shoulders, so that all of us could speak freely. Remember, this case against Hodlonaut was an attack on all Bitcoiners, and it was an attempt to silence dissenting speech. And we won. Anyways, I also have my legendary co-host, always optimistic, the one, the only, Optimus Fields. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great. Happy Friday, everyone. Glad to be here. And man, that intro, bro, you got me hyped up. I didn't know I could get more hyped up, but I'm getting the chills over here with that intro. That was a pure signal already on the intro, and you're just introducing the show. I'm excited for the Nico Jones take over here to connect all the dots here for us. Amazing.
Connect the dots. What do you have for us on the culture, my friend?
Okay, yeah, the culture, guys. I hinted a little bit in the spaces, but I am going to cover this Svetsky article that dropped, I think it was like a week ago or so, and it's called "Bitcoin is Responsibility, Go Up Technology." And I think there's a lot of signal here, as well as a great perspective that I think more Bitcoiners should see. Yeah, let's go.
These neglected quips. Today is a celebration because Nico paid his internet bill. Oh man, and Nico's dangerous because he has a sound bill. Ready? Anyways, all right, I'm excited. So you're going to cover Svetsky's article? I love Svetsky's articles. They're always
me too.
Very, very, very top notch. Lots of toxicity. Anyways, guys, let's start the show. Let's do this. Number time. Brought to you by NODL. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse because now you can run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. All right, everybody. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 19,134 sats per dollar, 5,226. Block height 759,695. Reachable Bitcoin nodes were at 14,973. Blocks to the halving 80,305. Halving estimate April 20th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity 5,045. Capacity value 96 million USD. Realized monetary inflation. That's my favorite stat, everybody, because it represents superior money, that Bitcoin is sounder money, that Bitcoin is hard money. While these fiat currencies continue to inflate in the United States, it's 8%. In Europe, in the UK and in Europe, it is 10%. And they can't stop. They can't get their sticky fingers away from the P button on the keyboard to print more money. So this will continue. This will continue to separate as time goes by. That 1.78% realized monetary inflation number will continue to go lower versus fiat. It's designed to go higher. Market capitalization, we're at $367 billion compared to the global wealth or global invested wealth. It is a tiny drop in the bucket. You are still early. Just speak to any normie friends. Speak to any friends that don't hold Bitcoin. It's self-evident. Anyways, I want to give a shout out to the legendary crypto couple. They had one of their awesome meme videos retweeted by Michael Saylor. And let's talk a little bit about why that is. Remember, guys, memes are only, you can only understand a meme and you will only find a meme funny if they're truth. Truth is the common denominator in memes, right? And it's a very effective way without, writing an essay, without writing an article, to transmit information very, very, very quickly. And the crypto couple are some of the best in the business. Let's check out their video.
Economics finding a 100% probability of a recession within the next 12 months.
Right now we see level 4 mutations like BF7 spreading.
Russia hitting Ukraine's infrastructure with massive strikes across the country.
China has decided to seize Taiwan on a much faster timeline.
Slow down, you crazy child. We've all been anxious for quite a while. A couple wars might start while Europe's going dark. What's the play? What's the fire we should worry about? They buy our eyeballs and our clicks and then they burn us out. It's hard to tell what's true and only hate seems to grow every day. But you know that when the lights get old, that we can think for ourselves instead of just getting told what to eat by while losing privacy through and through. When will you realize Big Brother waits for you? Slow down, open your mind. There ain't no red or blue, it's state versus you. And now is the time to say no to CBDCs that can fund anything that they like.
Where are they traveling?
They like.
How are they traveling? What are they eating?
Sounds bad, but it's the life we lead. They use our dollars in wars while we can't get what we need. Part of you feels something wrong, and the funny thing is that you're right. You're right. The system's broken, the money's a lie. How can you call it life when you're just forced to work till you die? Save on, but don't imagine it'll hold value. Ooh, maybe you'll realize Bitcoin waits for you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. What part of that, even though it was a comedic sketch, what part of that was a lie? It was all true. It was beautiful. It's not about red or blue. Voting for the other party won't fix this. The only vote that matters is taking your energy, your time, your work, and taking it back into your own hands. And the only way you do that is by taking Bitcoin into self-custody. This type of propaganda, this type of messaging is why we are going to win this. They don't have truth on their side. They can't release that type of messaging unless they brainwash masses and masses and masses and masses of people into believing their narrative. If they don't do that, they could release a meme and you will not understand. Wow, man. Carla, Walker, you guys are geniuses, and we will continue to be playing some of your awesome videos. They're very, very effective. Keep doing what you guys are doing. We absolutely are big fans of it. And it looks like from the chat, a lot of the humble plebs in there are also big fans as well. Opti, what are your thoughts, bro?
Well, first off, I just want to say to Carla, your voice is quite beautiful. I got the chills listening to it. And furthermore, to your point about the truth will prevail, that's why our memes slap so much harder than all the propaganda that goes against us, is because the truth is on our side and the truth wants to be set free. So again, we've been saying this a lot on the show, that I really think spreading memes through the culture in this way, like doing parodies and doing iterations of what is popular culture and adding our spin on it is how we get the signal out to the 7 billion pre-coiners out there. So we gotta, I say it all the time, you know, we gotta kind of meet people where they are and spread the message to them in ways that is digestible and understandable to people. So I think this is definitely where people need to go down. This is a rabbit hole that we need more of. And, you know, we do our best over here on Simply to be as entertaining and educational as possible. So we're all hitting it from different angles, but we're all trying to do the same thing, and that's to spread this message out to the masses and to, again, the 7 billion pre-coiners out there. So good job, guys. Good job to the crypto couple out there. That was a solid video. I really enjoyed that.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the news.
The Daily News.
Brought to you by Bitbox 2 Bitcoin Only Edition, a hardware wallet by Shift Crypto. Crypto like cryptography. It's secure, it's open source, and it's so easy your mom can set it up. Self-custody is the revolution, and the Bitbox makes it simple. Do not leave your Bitcoin on an exchange. Order a Bitbox today.
Guys, this was a small victory in the war to come. Unfortunately, this was someone that was supposed to be on our side, because the real enemy here are central banks. The real enemy here are governments that would rather hold their monopoly on the creation of money rather than their citizens being free. It's not all governments. Nayib Bukele's government, El Salvador's government is not one of them. But those are the real enemies. But here you have an example of someone who came from the industry itself and used the system to go after Bitcoiners. He successfully did that. In the UK, he successfully forced his Cobra to pull the white paper off of the Bitcoin.org website. This man has been using his large war chest, I think it was Calvin Ayre's large war chest, to go after dissenting speech, because his fork of Bitcoin, BSV, a lot of the people that are buying into BSV, it's all dependent on the fact that they think he is Satoshi. So he doesn't mind bankrupting people. He doesn't mind killing this whole movement if it means enriching himself. And that ended yesterday on Thursday, October 20th, 2022. It's done. And now we could say that Craig Wright is a fraud. Craig Wright lied. It's not Simply Bitcoin saying that. It's 3 separate judges in 3 separate countries that have said it. So this is the whole saga, and then we'll get into the receipts like we always do. Craig Wright versus Hodlonaut, a timeline of the legal battle. This is an article by us at Bitcoin Mag. It all started in 2019. Not a mega famous pseudonym on Twitter has recently gone from 4,000 to 8,000 followers as a result of the Lightning Trust chain. On March 16 to the 17th, 2019, Hodlonaut tweeted a series of tweets about Wright. On March 29, 2019, Wright responded to Hodlonaut with a legal notice. Wright filed the following complaint against Hodlonaut and these public documents. April 2019, Wright, along with Calvin Ayre and Ontario Legal, put a $5,000 in BSV reward for Hodlonaut's identity. That's right. Supposedly, Satoshi was putting a reward so that people would dox Hodlonaut's identity. June 2019, according to Hodlonaut, Wright filed a libel lawsuit against Hodlonaut in the UK. September 2019, Hodlonaut filed a UK application to dismiss proceedings due to lack of UK jurisdiction in light of the fact that the same case of action proceeding were already pending in Norway. December 19th, a Norwegian judge ruled against Wright's application to dismiss the Norwegian case that Hodlonaut filed. A UK hearing on Hodlonaut application to dismiss the UK was held. Hodlonaut tweeted January 2020. Hodlonaut wins application to dismiss the UK case, and UK proceedings are dismissed. And that is when the case was turned to Norway. But before I get to that, I claimed something right when we started this segment. I said 3 separate judges have called Craig Wright a liar. So let's go through the receipts. UK High Court Judge Martin Chamberlain has ruled that Craig Wright, the Australian scientist who claims to be Bitcoin investor Satoshi Nakamoto, advanced false evidence in his defamation case against Peter McCormack. Though finding the comments made by McCormack caused serious harm to Wright's reputation, the judge awarded Wright only nominal damages of £1 I wonder why that is. Chamberlain, however, concluded that Wright had advanced a deliberately case to disinvitations from academic conferences. Thus, the judge said there would be no injustice in rewarding just £1. In a statement distributed by his lawyers, Wright said, "I intend to appeal the adverse findings of the judgment in which my evidence was clearly misunderstood." What evidence was that? He lied. He got caught. But this only didn't happen in the UK. This also happened in the Klein case in the United States. And this is what the magistrate judge in the United States said. "I gave no weight to sworn statements of Dr. Wright that advance his interests, but that have not been challenged by cross-examination and for which I cannot make a credibility determination. I have previously found that Dr. Wright gave perjury testimony in my presence." 2 judges, not simply Bitcoin, 2 judges have called this man a liar. This comes to the good news. October 20th, Hodlonaut at 9:22 a.m. Hodlonaut tweeted, "I won. Welcome to law." Jameson Lopp tweeted, "The court has proclaimed that Hodlonaut had sufficient factual grounds to claim that Dr. Wright lied and cheated in his attempt to prove that he is Satoshi Nakamoto." And here's this article by our friends at Bitcoin Mag. Hodlonaut defeats Wright in Norwegian court case for defamation. Hodlonaut, a pseudonymous Bitcoiner, has won a court case for defamation against Craig Wright, who claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto. While this case did not seek a definitive answer to the question of legitimacy to Wright's claims, the judge did need to ascertain the likelihood of the possibility that Wright was telling the truth about being the creator of Bitcoin in order to decide if Hodlonaut was liable for damages based on his social media statements. The prevailing opinion in the media has been and is that Wright is unlikely to be Satoshi Nakamoto. However, the prevailing opinion of the media was most likely not a determining factor in discerning Wright's claim of being the founder of Bitcoin, although media opinion and other factors did help the court determination as to whether or not Hodlonaut's comments were unlawful. Against this background, the court believes that Hodlonaut has sufficient factual grounds that Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto in March 2019, reads the transcript. That's not simply Bitcoin saying that. That's 3 separate judges in 3 separate countries. I also have something special for you guys as well. I have a message from the Space Cat himself for you guys, for all the support. Quote, "I just won a battle. It's not the last battle in this saga, but it feels amazing to see truth prevail after so long. I will continue to stand for the simple truth like Bitcoin plebs do. Thank you all for the support." The Space Cat. The type of human that would do something like this, going after people that don't have the war chest that he has, is absolutely despicable. It's disgusting. And if you remember, when I was reading the timeline, that's why Craig wanted the case to happen in the UK. And he didn't want it to go to Norway. The UK's libel law is notorious for being abused by very powerful people wanting to shut up other people. In fact, it's abused so much the Obama administration had to pass a law to protect American citizens' free speech because it was used to silence dissenting speech. That's why it was a major win for the UK case to be thrown out and for it to go back to Norway. But how long did this take? This took 3 years, man. 3 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Bitcoiners came together, donated, like, I think it was like $1 million or so. Specifically that big whale that donated, it was like 47 Bitcoin or something. This is a win. This is a win. This is a win, but unfortunately, it's not a win for... It's a win for... to win against a shitcoiner that was bullying Bitcoiners. And it was a distraction from the actual enemy here. The enemy here are tyrannical governments that are unfriendly to Bitcoin because they would rather keep that power. The enemy here is central banks. And that's what's at stake. What's at stake is Bitcoin or freedom. And I guess this is a good bat. I guess this is a good win for that. But I hope now that this is over, we could actually move forward and focus on what is actually important. Shout out to Hodlonaut. This is a huge community. This is a huge win for the Bitcoin community. Hopefully, this man doesn't have any avenues left to go after other Bitcoiners that expose him for what he is. 3 judges, 3 different countries have all said the same thing. Craig Wright lied. And specifically in the Norway case, in order for the judge to reach a judgment on that, she or he or they, I think it was a she, had to come up with reasonable doubt. She had to understand. She had to have a good idea of whether Craig Wright was Satoshi or was not Satoshi. She couldn't find that evidence. Why didn't he just sign? If he owned those private keys, all he had to do is sign. And he said, no, you guys have to take my word for it. And if you don't take my word for it, I'm going to sue you. Does that sound like someone who owns those private keys that would immediately prove his identity and get the entire community to apologize to him? Doesn't make sense, man. Doesn't make sense. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts, bro?
Well, first off, shouts out to the Space Cat. Shouts out to you, Hodlonaut. I'm glad that you finally came out on top and you can finally put this behind you and move on with your life. But furthermore, or moreover, sorry guys, it's awesome to see Bitcoiners rally around one of their own and protect them and put their Bitcoin to support someone that is only been a shining example of just being an awesome Bitcoiner, creating a Bitcoin company, just trying to rally support around Lightning Network. And it feels good right now. I hate using the word community, but it feels good to see that Bitcoiners won't just eat their own, that we will also protect each other when time comes. And furthermore, shouts out to Citadel 21. We love you guys. Hope to see some more magazines come out. And, to talk about the Craig Wright case, it's disgusting to see people co-opting the Bitcoin narrative for their own personal gain. This is not the way. This is a lot bigger than just any one of us. And to see people try to put themselves to be bigger than they are so that they can claim to be something that they're not, when in reality, we say it all the time, that Bitcoin is the most important invention probably ever. And it's a lot bigger than any one of us. And what Bitcoin represents, represents freedom for humanity. Like we are trying to free humans, and the fact that you know, Craig Wright goes around trying to lock people up for the truth, it really is kind of antithetical to who he says he is. And Bitcoin is the truth, and lies do not stand up against Bitcoin nor the Bitcoin narrative. And in my personal opinion, like, who cares who Satoshi is? Like, let Satoshi rest in peace. He disappeared, or they disappeared for a reason. And we should respect that, because Bitcoin is bigger than the creator, and the immaculate conception of Bitcoin is so important that this is why Bitcoin is the most decentralized coin. This is why Bitcoin is going to take over the world, because there is no leader, there's no figurehead to take down. So I guess this is a great testament to the meme of don't trust, verify. And now we have verified in multiple jurisdictions that Craig Wright is not Satoshi, and that he's actually a fraud and a con man. So again, it's beautiful to see the Hodlonaut, the Space Cat, come out on top. Hopefully he can get his life back. Hopefully he can get moving forward and creating more Bitcoin content, Bitcoin companies, and just, you know, see him be free on the internet one more time, because it's a 3-year saga. Like, imagine having to go through this for 3 years, the amount of like public attacks that he had to go through, the amount of money and Satoshis he had to spend to fight this. Like, it was just a sunk of capital and energy and attention. So I'm glad that we're getting forward, moving on this case, and hopefully we can all put this behind us and you know, continue to move on and spread the sound money gospel. So shouts out to you, Hodlonaut.
Amen. All right, I also want to talk about, so that was a distraction, and Z-Logic actually said it perfectly. It's like every minute more we waste on CSW is another tiny victory for him, because this is a waste of time. It was a necessary battle. I'm glad that, you know, we got a happy ending, that Hodlonaut, whatever, but we have to focus on the task at hand. And the task at hand is the separation of money and state. And if you guys have been tuned into this channel for quite a while, the state is coming back, it's coming hard. So this is a quick update on that fight. This is U.S. Treasury sanction of privacy tools placing sweeping restrictions on all Americans, right? The Office of Foreign Asset Control is the Department of the Treasury you guys have to worry about. Why? Because they are behind sanctioning Tornado Cash. Tornado Cash is open source software. The majority of the time, no, all of the time, when the Department of Treasury, the Office of Foreign Asset Control sanctions, they sanction individuals and they sanction countries. They do not sanction open source technology. Now, why would they want to sanction open source technology? Because if they can get that precedent, that means eventually they will and can go after Bitcoin. They're already using the OFAC to censor Ethereum transactions. More than 50% of Ethereum transactions after the migration from proof of work to proof of stake are actively censoring for the Office of Foreign Asset Control. Moving on. So, good news. This came out a couple days ago, maybe a week ago. Coin Center is suing the Office of Foreign Asset Control over its Tornado Cash sanction. Now, let's check out the reasons, the 4 claims as to why they are suing them. Today, Coin Center, along with a group of normal privacy-seeking donors and activists and public figures, filed a lawsuit against the Treasury Department to keep privacy normal, to delist Tornado Cash privacy tools from sanctions, and to enjoin Treasury from enforcing against ordinary Americans exercising their self-evident and basic rights to privacy. Our lawsuit makes 4 claims. First, Congress gave the president very specific powers when it passed the International Emergency Economics Power Act, upon which Treasury sanction rules are based. Sanctions can block U.S. persons from transacting with a foreign person or a majority foreign entity of the property that person or entity. When we or our co-plaintiffs use Tornado tools, we do so as normal privacy-seeking Americans. We do not engage in transactions with any foreign person or entity or their property. Instead, we use immutable and widely available software on the Ethereum blockchain to move our own valuables from one place in cyberspace that is fully under control to another place we also control. Keep in mind, do not be distracted. This is simply Bitcoin, guys. But they are attacking open source software. If they get away with this, they're doing it on Ethereum now. It's just a matter of time before they go after Bitcoin. This is why this lawsuit is so important. Second, even Treasury's own regulations and past executive orders limit the applicability of sanction controls to transactions with persons, entities, or their property. The Tornado Cash sanction was made without statutory and also without regulatory authority. It was made contrary to law. Third, in sanctioning Tornado Cash tools, the Treasury failed to consider the collateral consequences of its actions and manifest any awareness of or their significant deviation from previous sanctioned policies. Their actions were arbitrary and capricious. I completely agree. And they did this, guys, once again, because Bitcoin is a threat to current U.S. sanctioned policy, because the United States is the US dollar is the global reserve currency that gives the US government tremendous amount of power to weaponize the dollar to go after their political opponents. But you've been hearing the news from Iran. You've been hearing the news from Russia. Those countries announce that they're going to use Bitcoin to what? To facilitate international trade. Facilitating international trade means that they're bypassing U.S. sanctions, which is why I believe the Treasury is doing this type of preemptive move. The dollar to go after their. So, again, put the pieces together. Moving on. Fourth, Americans have had their associational activities chilled as private donations to political causes must now be made public on chain. Our American system relies on certain essential and self-evident rights, among them that you can meet with others to petition the government and contribute to groups and organizations that will further those advocacy efforts. And remember what the Fourth Amendment is: no unreasonable search and seizure. It's complete. The vast majority of people that are using Tornado Cash are they're just seeking privacy. It was only a small portion of them that used it for malicious purposes. And then it's like, okay, but then why would they sanction this? I'm telling you guys, it has to do with the fact that they're scared as hell of Bitcoin because they can't control it like they can control the legacy system. So they're attempting to set a precedent and saying, hey, we now could sanction specific types of software, because if they could sanction specific type of software, if Bitcoin becomes too much of a threat to them one day, they have this option. And this is just a continuation of the crypto wars. Let me read some of the Wikipedia article. Attempts unofficially dubbed the crypto wars have been made by the United States and allied governments to limit the public's and foreign nationals' access to cryptography, strong enough to thwart decryption by national intelligence agencies, especially the NSA. Here's a shirt, and I think it proves it, right? Export restrict RSA encryption source code printed on a t-shirt made the t-shirt an export restricted munition as freedom of speech protests against U.S. encryption export restrictions. So someone wore this shirt and the U.S. government said that this text is illegal. And combine this with what Tornado Cash is. Tornado Cash is code. Bitcoin is code, which code is a form of speech. Speech is supposed to be protected by the First Amendment. So what they're trying to say, because again, it's a threat to their power, is that certain types of speech are not allowed. And that's the legal battle that's happening right now. That is where we are in the movie. And I guarantee you this will be a lot worse than the crypto wars in the 90s, because Bitcoin is competing for all of the marbles. Bitcoin is competing to be global reserve currency. And if Bitcoin wins, the nation state bureaucracy that gets funded by the money printer dies along with it, just like it was predicted in the book that I always recommend everybody to read, The Sovereign Individual. We are living through that right now. We are living through the separation of money and state. This is what's happening. And this is why I get so upset. And this is why I get so angry when I see distractions like CSW suing other people because they're calling him a fraud. Like, if you aren't a fraud, man, prove yourself, dude. Prove yourself. Prove it to everybody. Sign those keys. I promise you, signing those keys, proving that you own that Bitcoin that Satoshi supposedly owned, would get everybody to shut the fuck up, and I bet you get a ton of apologies too. But he's not willing to do that. He's forcing us to take his word for it, and if we don't believe him, he's using lawfare to go after his dissidents. Well, that day is now over. Now it's over. Good luck trying to sue the next person now that you have 3 different judges in 3 different countries saying that you have lied to them, that you've committed perjury on record. Let's see. Even though Hodlonaut said the saga isn't over, I think the worst has passed. But I could be wrong, man. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts, brother?
Well, I think this is just a testament to what we've been saying for a while now, that we are 100% in the early stages of Then They Fight You. And as you said it best. This is simply a precedent for them to attack Bitcoin's open source software. And if they can make the precedent of open source software being on the sanctions list, then it's only one step separated from them doing that to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is so important that they will try to find a way to weasel their way around it to stop it. And in my opinion, this is just one of their ways to try to find a roundabout way to stop Bitcoin and scare people away from using Bitcoin. And it's really just disgusting. I think we kind of said this a lot on the show, that the fact that the powers that be, the authoritarians out there, the tyrants out there the bureaucrats are doing whatever they can to try to stop Bitcoin and to turn us all into criminals, when in reality, Bitcoin, like I said earlier, is the most important technology that's probably ever been created for humans and for freedom. And I think it is the most important thing we can be doing to push Bitcoin and spread the sound money gospel, so that more people understand that Bitcoin is the solution, excuse me, and that yes, the world has problems and there is things that need to be fixed, but the most important thing to be fixed is fix the money, and we can fix the world going on from there. So people attacking Bitcoin, in my opinion, is really anti-human. And this is why we do what we do. This is the fight of our lives, and this is why we continue to spread this message and the truth as far and wide as possible to as many people that will listen. So we're in for a fight. This is just the beginning of it, and I think we need to all buckle down and just be prepared for what's to come.
Amen to that, brother. All right, guys, let's get to the culture. Let's do this.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. All right, everybody, I want to give a special shout out to Pacific Bitcoin. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference on the West Coast. It's November 10th through the 11th in Los Angeles, California. Speaker list includes Michael Saylor, Lynn Alden, Corey Clipston, Jeff Booth, Pierre Richard, Guy Swan, Mark Moss, Nico, and Opti are going to be doing a live Simply Bitcoin episode from the Swan Dome. You can take advantage of the promo code, all caps, SIMPLY, to get a major discount on your Pacific Bitcoin tickets. Opti, what do you have for us today, bro?
Awesome. All right, guys. So as I said in the beginning, I have this article by Alexander Svetsky, and it's on Bitcoin Mag, and it's called "Bitcoin is Responsibility, Go Up Technology."
Opti, could you zoom in? Could you pinch with your fingers so that people could read the text more?
Zoom in. I'm trying. Fat fingers. There
we go.
All right. So the subtitle: Without responsibility, freedom is meaningless. So Bitcoin is not just freedom money, it is responsible money powered by RGU technology. So let me just get into this. I absolutely love this article because I personally have felt this in my own life. And I think I'm small testament to this idea that Svetsky has written up, and I believe this is going to be a solid meme going forward. So let me just get into some of this writing, and Svetsky goes and starts off by saying, Bitcoin is a combination of many innovations, technological, mathematical, and scientific. It is, of course, includes cryptography, timestamping, hashing, and proof of work, the combination of which gives rise to new forms of technology, namely the time chain, number go up technology, and what I believe is perhaps the most important of all, responsibility go up, or RGU tech. So responsibility and freedom. I came to Bitcoin for the money, and I stayed for the money. The money being the most important social invention / discovery / tool known to the greatest social beast of all. Man, I've always been a free maximalist, but the experiences that felt most sound, just, and true were the ones where I was maximally free and maximally responsible for the result, whether good or bad, and for better or worse. I 100% agree and endorse that message, but I've come to realize that Bitcoin itself is even more important than I thought, because it embodies and exudes and epitomizes responsibility. A new meme for 2022 and beyond. If Bitcoin is responsible money, then what drives it is RGU, or responsibility go up technology. Of course, that's a meme, and we should treat it as such, but in this day and age, we mean things into existence. Number go up was a perfect example, as well as laser eyes, but let us add a new one to the lexicon. RGU, responsibility go up tech. So number go up was great, is great, and will always be great. Bitcoin's number go up works on so many levels: the price, block height, node count, hash rate, users, and more. Although we know that most people focus primarily on the price, things can fall apart when you're just simply focused on the price. If exchange rate is the prime focus, periods of non-number go up price action may make you look stupid or feel a little empty. Bitcoiners are ready to endure looking stupid. It is a price worth paying, of course. Not to mention that these rites of passage are both a cleansing and forging they call the weak, while sharpening the true believers. If you're here right now, you're feeling this right now. You're feeling this experience. This might be your first cycle, and you're going through this for the first time. You showed Bitcoin to everyone that you love, and you're like, number goes up. And right now you're like, you can't really do that. You can't use that narrative. But it's in this sharpening that we have the opportunity to discover a more moral pursuit, responsibility. And he goes on to say, I've come to believe it's the most mature and evolved of human attributes. With great freedom comes the moral calling for great responsibility. This is a challenge set before all boys that will become men. This is when you transcend the child and enter the adult. In this sense, Bitcoin is a sign of civilizational maturity. We are at a mid-rite of passage, and the infantile part of us that wants to continue playing pretend is throwing a tantrum, kicking, biting, and screaming because it knows its time is up. The fiat era is coming to an end, and like a child in hysterics, it is in this state of panic. But never fear, this too shall pass. Bitcoin will mature us, because it will not only make freedom great again, but make responsibility great again. I have felt this in my personal life, and if you are aware of anything going on in the macro doesn't look good. This is exactly what's going on. The world is feeling the pain. The world is in the fiat hangover, and we're just happy that we have Bitcoin right now, because it would be a very bad world if we didn't have Bitcoin right now. Anyways, responsibility go up tech. You will find RGU tech embedded in every element of Bitcoin, from the radical custody and methods of storage through to the fact that there is no support line you can call if you've lost your keys or sent Bitcoin to the wrong address. The same powerful property rights make you free to do whatever you choose with your wealth, but they also place the onus on you to secure your wealth in such a way that it is not taken, lost, or squandered. Knowing that Bitcoin is a one-way function and that there is no rewind button, it forces you to think twice, no thrice about what you are doing. This is maturity. This is what it means to be an adult. Beyond the inherent responsibility of utility and function found in Bitcoin is the effect it has on transforming the user into a more responsible human being. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. What this does in a social sense is profound. Bitcoin makes the economic game fair. Nobody can win by virtue of a money printer or state monopoly. Such fancy methods of cheating become impotent. This cuts at the very heart of the irresponsible and short-sighted fiat world we live in. When you're the nation state or central bank and do so, this behavior will spread until all of civilization is infected with it, and people will become simultaneously devoid of individual responsibility while also being responsible for everyone and everything. That's where we are right now. One big mindless massive serfs playing a strange game of responsibility hot potato. But This is the magic of RGU, and that in fact makes it similar to number goes up, is embedded within that thing that is Bitcoin, and it manifests in the external world. And I felt this in my personal life, guys. In this next paragraph, Bitcoin has inspired inquiry into many other aspects of life. And I honestly felt like a man-child before Bitcoin. I was supposedly an adult, but until Bitcoin, I don't think I've ever really taken responsibility. No, understood the fact that with freedom comes responsibility. And this is the incredible side effect of responsible money and responsibility go up tech. You now don't have the nanny state. You don't have anyone to blame but yourself. And as I like to say all the time, once you take personal responsibility for everything, your whole life changes. I no longer blame an external force for anything in my life. It is all upon me to make my life better and to put in the work so that I have a better life. There's no one to blame but myself. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but in this cancel culture, social justice warrior life we live in, everyone wants to transfer blame to someone but themselves. There's always some external force that makes you unhappy, that makes your life not what you want it to be. But in reality, the truth of the matter is you haven't put in the work. You haven't done what you needed to do to be the person that you want to be, because reality is the harshest teacher. If you don't have the results in your life that you think you should be, well, you need to audit your life. You need to audit your thinking and put in the work to get there. There is nothing going to be given to you. We are, as millennials, I'm only going to speak for the millennials out there right now because that's the only generation I know. We are an entitled generation and we think we deserve the best, but we haven't put in the work. And furthermore, while the boomers may have taken our future from us, there's still a game to be played, and the game is Bitcoin. The game is responsible money. The game is honest money. And as Svetsky goes on, I mean honest money, true money, or what do I mean by responsible money? He means honest money, true money, monies whose ledger is accurate and whose custody demands responsibility of the bearer. Bitcoin, like the force of nature it is, places the onus on you as the individual to make responsible choices with your time, energy, and intent, from custody through to how you trade the product of your labor in an interconnected society and economy. There is no rewind button. Bitcoin marches forward like the procession of time. It does not turn back, and you have to adapt to the radical freedom of Bitcoin, or you can adapt to the radical slavery of CBDCs. As Nico always says, there's Bitcoin and there is slavery. Do you want responsible money? Do you want an honest money? Or do you want a funny money, a paper Ponzi, a digital Ponzi that they can continue to tell you how to live, to tell you what you can do with your money, to tell you that you are in wrong think, that you don't know what reality is? I know what side I've chosen. Responsible money is true money. Responsible money is mature money. Responsible money leads to responsible action, and responsible action leads to a more mature, fair, real, and functional world. Bitcoin is the ultimate form of responsible money, and RGU technology is the antidote to the fantasy of fiat and the pretend prosperity of politics. Embrace it, not just because number goes up. Do so because responsibility, the highest of virtues, goes up in you and the world around you. And I think that I couldn't have picked a better article for today's episode, considering what the news section was about and what the numbers section was about. Responsibility is the new counterculture, and taking full responsibility of your life and not blaming anyone for your mistakes, for your lot in life, I think is the most important way to move forward right now. We are living in a fiat world where the politicians continue to socialize their losses and privatize their gains, and now we have flipped the script on its head. You as the individual can save in Bitcoin, can save in the truth ledger, in the soundest, most responsible money there is, and you can prosper on the bootstraps of your own hard work. I say it all the time on this show. Responsibility is the revolution, and you need to take it upon yourself to fix your life. No one else can fix your life. Stop being entitled to future profits that you haven't worked on. Proof of work is much more than Bitcoin mining. It's a philosophy. It's a way of life. Have you put in the work to get where you want to go? If you haven't, audit yourself and continue to get better. Continue to get better 1% a day. That's all you need to do. Look forward, lower your time preference. The future is bright. The future is orange, and we will fix this. It is upon us, this Bitcoin generation, to fix the problems of the past, and we have the tools to do it. There's no longer excuses. There's no longer a need to just vote and protest. There's one vote that matters, and it's with your money and your feet. Bitcoin is the solution, and with that comes the understanding that you need to take full responsibility for your life and stop blaming someone else for the shitty life that you're living. And once you do this, your life will change. Bitcoin changes you. You don't change Bitcoin. And I can only say this with true genuineness and authenticity because I've felt this in my personal life. And if it can do it for me, it can do it for everyone else out there. Take responsibility for your life, and number go up will fix all the rest of the noise, guys. It really is as simple as taking self-custody, saving in Bitcoin, providing value to your fellow man, and enjoying life, guys. Audit yourself. Fix your mind and your ass will follow, and everything else will work itself out. The money is the problem, and we have better money now, and there's no excuses to continue to keep your head buried in the sand like an ostrich. Bitcoin is here, and we just need more people to understand that Bitcoin will fix most of these world's problems. And once we fix the money, we can fix society at large. Society needs to take responsibility and stop socializing its losses. The collectivist virus, mind virus, has taken us almost off the cliff, Nico. But the individual is coming back, and I fundamentally believe that we are winning. And it's very obvious to me when we see all the FUD against Bitcoiners that Bitcoin is the solution, and Bitcoiners out there will change the world. So, anyways, Nico, jump in, bro.
Boom, boom. Dude, I love that NGU, RGU, right? Guys, the revolution does not work unless people take personal responsibility. Unless they learn how to take self-custody, because they've outsourced the storage of their wealth for so long. And look at what the result has been. They've outsourced where they get in their information. They rely on the legacy media. And look at how catastrophic that has been. There's an activist audience. Take personal responsibility. Take your sovereignty back. Through personal responsibility, you will have more freedom. Sounds counterintuitive, right? More responsibility, more freedom. That's how it is. Because if you don't take that responsibility, someone else is going to make that decision for you. And if we lived in a utopia, if we lived in a perfect world, fine. But what tends to happen if you outsource those responsibilities, whether it's Texas Slim, the beef initiative, right? You outsource your food to a shitty source. You outsource your information. You still believe on the legacy media. Look how much they've lied to you over the last 2 years. You're still trusting governments not to inflate your currency. You're still trusting banks not to steal from you, not to freeze your funds. I mean, look at what happened with PayPal. That time is over. We are heading into a new era. This era requires individuals, you who are watching, take personal responsibility over your lives. Pass that personal responsibility pill, pass that personal responsibility virus onto others. And let's change this world for the better. Bitcoin or nothing. All right.
Wait, before we go, Nico, I want to just add, guys, you watching this, you have a brain in your head, use it. You know what's best for your life. Lean into it. Understand that you know what's right for you and your life, and stop outsourcing your thinking to other people. Get in your Zen mode. Understand what's best for yourself. Audit your mind, and the rest will follow. Just lean into your confidence in yourself, and I'm telling you, your life will change. It's really that simple.
Amen to that, brother. All right, let's get to the meme review.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by CypherSafe. Don't be that person that loses their Bitcoin seed due to fire damage, water damage, dog attacks. Back up your generational Bitcoin wealth
on steel, and there's no better place to do it than the Cypher Grid by CypherSafe. And now check out their new Bitcoin art, the Bitcoin Rulux triangle, only on cyphersafe.io.
All right, Opti.
All right, guys. Well, you already know the meme. Tweet or what? Yeah, tweets are the bullets and memes are the artillery in this misinformation war, guys. They are bombarding you with so much noise that you literally don't know what's up from down. But hey, we say it all the time. The truth will prevail, and the truth always prevails in memes. But you got to know the truth to understand the meme, and it's a feedback loop. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And this first one, guys, again, I don't like to add myself in these memes, but my boy Rope tagged me in it, so I had to do it. Shouts out to Selly. He's playing on the Template Tuesdays, and he goes Template Thursday, and we got CSW, and I just instantly, he released this right after Hodlonaut's tweet, or right before Hodlonaut's tweet, and so I just did a play on it. So I am Satoshi. And he's smiling and smirking. And then I just added the Hodlonaut tweet. I won. Welcome to law. And just a disgust and fail on CSW's face. Yes, that was a good one. Next one, since this was going to be the Hodlonaut show, I'm sure there was more tweets and memes out there. But we have this one by Toxicat. And he goes, you know what I do when I get caught in lies? I tell more lies. Anyone that was watching the saga of the Hodlonaut versus Craig Wright case could see that this is exactly what happened. When he got caught in a lie, he just kept making up more lies in real time, and it was absolutely insane. This next one is by Walker America, and he goes, a picture is worth 21 million words, hashtag Bitcoin. And for you guys in the spaces, I think this is a ratio for the amount of people, 7.8 billion people, and it's a bunch of dots, and then in relation, the 21 million Bitcoin. Okay, yeah, so we have a dot that equals 1 million people. So, or 1 million. 7.8 billion people, 21 million Bitcoin. Ask yourself how scarce Bitcoin really is, and ask yourself whether you are prepared to go absolutely parabolic soon, because it's gonna happen. This next one, again, I don't like adding our memes, but this isn't our meme. I'm going to add the Coinbits one. We did this meme. It's self-custody your Bitcoin, or it's not your Bitcoin. And I forget what superhero movie this, but this guy's like the evil guy, and he goes, when banks start offering Bitcoin custody solutions. Oh, Wine's a savage. And then Coinbits adds my Bitcoin, a naive hodler. And then we got exchange and custodial services. I'll keep it safe. And then the exchange and custodial services looks at it and wonders. And then the next scene is, oh, wait, now this is my Bitcoin. Guys, we say it all the time on this show. Self-custody is the revolution. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody, because you shouldn't be using these custodial solutions. You shouldn't be using an exchange as a wallet, or else they will rug pull on you. This next one is at Memeing Bitcoin. And we got like a buff Doge Shiba Inu dog, and with the Bitcoin logo on it, and it goes, savings account open 24/7, 365 that accepts anyone no matter where they are or who they are. And then we have a little a little beta Shiba Inu crying with what's his Chase Bank of America and a little bank logo, and it goes, open 9 to 5. You need your ID and life story. Please sign these 61 pages of terms and conditions. Guys, opt out of the madness. Bitcoin, you don't need to tell people that you don't need to sign up for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an open monetary network that anyone can adopt. This next one is by our friend Bitcoin Morpheus, and this is from Bitcoin Amsterdam. There was the scene of last week of Jemima Kelly, a Fiat Times bro journalist, quote unquote journalist. Though I know everyone saw it, where she said like 20 million times, because she's like, been in like Bitcoin for like longer than everyone. Like, anyways, I really like this little clip right here. It's Pete Rizzo. I forget what this guy's name is, but he absolutely killed it in that clip. And he goes, when someone says Bitcoin is a Ponzi, and for those listening in the spaces, they got these big old smirks and this like, yeah, okay, if you say so. And this last one, I really like this meme by Carl B. Menger, but also I'll add my 2 sats on the end of it. And he goes, peace and freedom, hashtag Bitcoin. And the meme is, It's a grandpa reading to his granddaughter, or dad and a daughter reading a bedtime story, and the daughter goes, "Skip to the part where everyone opts to a Bitcoin standard and where we live in peace and freedom together." Yes, I absolutely love that meme because one day this is exactly where we will be. But you guys are on the front lines, and unfortunately, we can't skip to that part. We got to put it upon ourselves to spread the sound money gospel, to put in the work, to ensure that Bitcoin takes over the world like we know it will be. It takes the individual to spread Bitcoin. And this is what we're doing, guys. We can't skip to the end of the story. We can only put in the work and understand that it's going to be a long hero's journey to that point. It might get dark. They're going to fight us. But this is what we were born for. At least this is what I was born for. I fundamentally believe that this is what I was born for, is to do this and to be a part of this monetary revolution. Well, I moved my gear today back into my room. So I think this is going to be a special score. It's my MF Doom mask that I wore.
No, dude, that's the mask from Gladiator, the movie.
Well, it is, but this is the MF Doom mask. If you guys know, I was wearing this mask for the first couple of weeks on the show before I put it all on the line and put skin in the game, and you guys see my beautiful face.
Boom. All right, I added the dramatic music for the score. All right, so I'm gonna give it this a random page from the Book of Max. The Book of Max. Here we go. Book of Max. I'm gonna give it "Nobody could jerk off to Rachel Maddow." Oh,
okay,
Max
guys,
Kaiser,
you
man.
already know. I keep forgetting to say it, but drop your meme score in the chat and we'll review them. We already got a few in here, so get those in quickly. Hold on. Let me go up, make sure I get them all. All right, I think this is the first one.
Global nonsense. I give those memes another useless British Prime Minister. Brandon. I give those memes 4 million.
Pins. This is
BTC pins. I give those memes 4,053,750 Chronos. Okay. Nice.
Nico can't read.
Brandon, I give those memes a 4.4% difficulty increase. Very nice. Very nice. Max Trotter. I give those memes the internet invented by boomers. We got nothing against boomers, bro. Oh man. Stay humble and review your own memes.
Hold on though. The name though. This today's name, Nico. We got to give him a shout out. Today's name is Opti's Neglected Quips. We are all wine.
Ooh. I want to meet this person. Score, stay humble and review your own meme. All right, guys. One last one by Z Logic. Oh, we got two more. I give these memes obsolete banker tears. And by Pravana Phi, I give those memes life-changing wealth, 1 sat. Oof, I like that. Becca, I give the memes a sandwich. Apparently, Becca sandwiches are really famous. I really want to try one because apparently they're a big deal. These sandwiches are a big deal. Oh, Diogenes. My meme score is anyone who pulls it to Rachel Maddow is just rug pulling themselves. Oh my God, Diogenes, absolute savage. Anyways, guys, don't forget to check out Simply Bitcoin's Telegram group. It's absolutely free. We have 600 people in there already. It's a fucking celebration. Go to www.t.me/the Simply Bitcoin channel. Next up, we got Simply Bitcoin Unfiltered. Shout out to our awesome writers, Rustin, Zach, Paul, Weinicus, dropping. It's the written version of this show, and it's absolutely free. Subscribe. Go to www.simplybitcoin.news. Guys, we don't have time for a software release, and we're absolutely pooped. This is the final episode until Monday. Oh, thank you, Becca. Becca finally made me a sandwich. I appreciate that. All right. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks, Trout. Thanks, Simply Bitcoin, to keep providing the signal. Appreciate it. Guys, we want to tell you about RepresentLTD.com. RepresentLTD.com makes the stylish, comfiest. Look at that. Look at Opti's wearing the orange angel with the AK-47. It's awesome. Only on Represent LTD. I'm wearing the Nico Loves the Camo hoodies. I have so many of these. I got with grenades. I got the simple Represent. It's awesome. It's stylish. It's comfy. Only on representltd.com. And of course, you can take advantage of the promo code simply-bitcoin to get 10% off anything off the representltd.com store. Also, make sure to check our audio-only podcasts. Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Fountain, and eventually Opti's going to figure out how we could pull up the Fountain messages.
I just updated the Fountain app.
No, but you could do it. Go check out BTC Session stream.
All right, I'll do it.
He knows how to do it.
Okay.
So we'll show everybody.
Is there a tutorial on it?
No, dude, just go to his stream when he reads out the messages and he says the name of the app that he uses on his node. Anyways, we appreciate all the donations on Fountain. Anything helps, guys. This is we do this every single day. We really appreciate it. Thanks, Diogenes. Guys, that was another episode of Simply Bitcoin. We love you. Care about you. We really do. We're in this together. We're in the trenches by your side. We are going to separate money from state. We are going to free humanity from the tyranny of central banking. Fuck fiat. Guys, if you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Consider subscribing. And, of course, the number one thing you could do to push this revolution forward is share this video. Guys, we will see you on Monday. Have an amazing weekend. We love you all. See you on Monday for a brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best?